Welcome, everyone. The procession for Phase 2 of the 170th Commencement at Tufts University is about to begin. I have a few requests before we get started. First, I'd like to remind everyone that we will not be handing out actual diplomas during the ceremony. Instead, all diplomas will be mailed home to you. You may follow up with student services to make sure they have the best address for you. Second, I'd like to request at this time that you silence any cell phones you may have with you. We want to hear the speakers, not your ringtones. Now is a good time. Finally, during the ceremony, please keep the aisles and the stage area clear, including the time when the graduates are recognized individually on the stage. There will be a professional photographer capturing that special moment, so please refrain from taking any photos in the stage area. We want to make sure that all attendees have an unobstructed view of their graduates' moment of glory. Thank you for your cooperation. Please welcome Dean Camille Lazaribar, Dean of Student Life, Chief Student Life Officer, and the faculty of the Department of Mathematics. Please welcome the graduates from the Department of Mathematics. The commencement ceremony for the Department of Mathematics will now be in order. Please be seated. Good morning. My name is Boris Hasselblad, and I am a professor in the Department of Mathematics. It is my pleasure to welcome Dean Lizaribar, Dean of Student Life, Chief Student Life Officer, who will now address us.
Thank you, and welcome, colleagues, friends, parents, families, and most importantly, welcome to our graduates. It's really an honor for me to serve as host for this graduation ceremony and to share the stage with many esteemed colleagues on the faculty, many of whom you have come to know, respect, and trust. And like you have come to know all of us, we have come to know, respect, trust, and admire each and every one of you. For the last 4 years, Tufts has been a place where you have learned to build relationships and be part of a community. Just look around you. You have friends and family all gathered here, and the power of graduation is as much about your accomplishments as it is about sharing this moment. It's the people that are here that you're connected to in person and in spirit that give meaning and comfort to all our lives. So when you leave here today, my hope for you is that in every new place you go, whether it's for a few days or for many years, you will be connected and engaged members of your communities. Belong, be generous, and be kind. That is how you will make a difference. I hope our paths will cross again. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you, Dean Lizaribar. Professor Kaso Okuju, Chair of the Department of Mathematics, will now introduce the faculty on the stage.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to now introduce my colleague in the math department, Christophe Bogus. Chris Koshia. Fulton Gonzalez. Emily Mihan. James Murphy. Abani Patra. Sam Petty. Todd Quinto. Kim Nguyen. Abi Tassisa. Montserrat Tessido Bigas. Lauren Tu. And Genevieve Walsh. Thank you. Thank you.
Today, we will begin with our senior commencement speaker. It is my pleasure to present Siska Hayden.
Hi. Thank you so much for selecting me to speak. It is an honor. I want to first thank every parent, professor, administrator who made this day possible for all of us, especially my parents and family. I have been a math major for 4 years and have worked in the math office for 3. This department has been my home, from working on geometric group theory over the summer with a great group of mathematicians, to freaking out about a speeding ticket with Joe and Professor Adler. I've gotten to know many of you through classes, but what you don't know is I've gotten to know even more of you through eavesdropping while on shift. It is a very inconspicuous place to sit for 15 hours a week, right between the student study spots and professors' offices. I have overheard conversations of success stories of papers being published or PhD dissertations being rewritten months before they are to be defended. I have overheard the rejoicing of many of you hearing of acceptances into great graduate programs. I have listened to countless conversations of nonlinear dynamics, group theory, topology, etc. I have listened to debates of the logical validity of the Star Wars universe. In summation, I have listened to the stories of the Tufts math department. Let me tell you about one in particular. One day, I overheard a student talk to one of the professors in tears about a 44% on a topology midterm. They promptly went into the professor's office, and I didn't hear more of the situation until a couple days later. She started to come to the math office on a regular basis. She went to the professor's office hours, and with each visit, she had more pep in her step. I was certain she was going to be a success story and grow so much in that class and never come back in tears again. It wasn't until a few weeks later that I was proven wrong. I overheard another conversation between that same student and professor. This time she was in tears about a 24% on a topology midterm. They again promptly went into his office, but I saw her lingering around the math department more and more, always with the Starbird's Topology Through Inquiry textbook open on her laptop. A few weeks later, it was my last shift for the semester and the last day of finals. I was packing up to go home when I overheard her on the phone with her mom, utterly sobbing. I could barely make out what she was saying. I worked 24/7 a week on this. I have never been so confident in my answers for anything in this class. I finally understood everything, and now it won't account for anything. Maybe they'll still take it. I'm only submitting 30 minutes late. I'll email now. Don't worry, I'm not exposing someone's sob story. This was my sob story. I ended up with a B- in that class, a fresh new understanding of topology, what it takes to study topology, and a love for the subject. Hopefully some of you saw yourself in that story, reminisced on an unfortunate math exam that you have now bounced back from, because guess what? You're graduating. I also want to express that the moral of this story is that even though I wasn't there to overhear my own math department story and root for myself behind the scenes, looking back, I know there were people that were. Maybe that person was working the front desk shift while I was going through all of this, or the professors, advisors, and administrators of the math department that work continuously to root for the best for all of us. I wish I knew there was someone there with the perspective to tell me, if you stand far enough in the future, the distance between 24, 44, 100, and even 1 million is virtually zero. I am here to tell you that I have learned in the mathematics communities I have witnessed at Tufts, in Budapest, at the University of Tennessee, and throughout various conferences, there will always be someone in the math community to witness your stories and root for you no matter where you go. Some of you may know, either through my yapping about it or through my recent viral video, that I am the lead of the Tufts rocketry team. I bring this up because in rocketry we have a saying, just don't blow up. Mathematics might truly be harder than rocket science sometimes, trust me, but it will all be okay as long as you don't blow up. I survived a 24% on an exam in the subject I now want to pursue a career in. I may not have a clear view of the trajectory of my next few years. Some of you may be in a similar situation. But if we can survive a mathematics major from a top university in the United States, we can survive anything. So here's to not blowing up, finding a love of math, and to our future successes, whatever those may be. Congrats, y'all.
Thank you, Cisco. We now welcome Professor Kim Rain to the podium for the presentation of the academic awards.
All right. I don't really need the microphone, but I'm going to use it. I'm going to move it down just a little. Hold on. There we go. Maybe not. All right. I'll just stand on my tiptoes. We will now acknowledge Tufts University and Department of Mathematics awards. We ask that the student award winners stand up when their names are called and remain standing until we've read all awards and names. The first is the Ralph S. K. Memorial Prize. The Ralph S. K. Memorial Prize is awarded to a junior or senior who, at the conclusion of 2 years or more of mathematics courses, and irrespective of the major field of concentration, demonstrates a favorable combination of proficiency in math and participation in extracurricular activities. This year's winner is Catherine DeLeo. Please stand as this year's recipient of the Ralph S. K. Memorial Prize. The Martin Guterman Award was established by friends, family, and colleagues of the Department of Mathematics in memory of Professor Marty, as we knew him, Guterman, a beloved professor and mentor. The Guterman Award is open to all first-year and second-year students. Based on performance and promise, the award is to encourage further study of mathematics, such as declaring a major, doing research, or planning to attend graduate school. Luca Lombardo is this year's recipient of the Martin Guterman Award. Our next award is the Norbert Wiener Award in Mathematics, which is given on those rare occasions when a student exhibits such prodigious strength in mathematics as to recall the highly unusual talents of Norbert Wiener, who went on to become one of the giants of 20th century mathematics. Aside from his vast legacy within mathematics, he left his mark on popular culture by finding the discipline and coining the term cybernetics, which has spawned today's notions of cyberspace. This year's award winner for that is Saskia Solotko. Woohoo! The Maxine N. Gordon Book Prize celebrates a 1970 mathematics alumna. At Tufts, Maxine Gordon began lifelong valued friendships and explored and developed intellectual interests for which she was to maintain a passion throughout her life. She majored in mathematics. After graduating, Maxine earned a master's from Northwestern University and became a master teacher of students in math in the Newton and Wayland Public Schools. A prolific reader, she cherished books. The prize honors students who, like Maxine, share a passion for mathematics, teaching, and literature. Each year, the chair of the mathematics department awards the prize to a major who has demonstrated a love of reading, literature, and poetry. Madeline Strauss is this year's recipient of the Maxine Gordon Prize. If you're looking around for some of the recipients, there are many ceremonies going on, and lots of math majors are double majors. And even though we try to kidnap them and get them here, I don't know why they choose to go to any other ceremony. I'll have to chat with Madeline about that. The university held an award ceremony in April where award winners in every class level were presented with their awards. We would like to briefly acknowledge the mathematics graduates who received Tufts University-wide awards. And now I'm going to say that same thing. It was already in the script, and I said it anyway. Some of the award winners are graduating in more than one concentration, so may not be here with us at the math ceremony. Shame on them. If you are present and hear your name, please stand up to be acknowledged. Safal Ariel, Helen Morris Cartwright, Memorial Prize in Philosophy. Alexandra Baranchikova and Robert Nicholas Bush, James Schmaltz Award for Excellence in Computer Science. David Cutler and Ryan Liu, N. Hobbs Knight Prize. Catherine DeLeo, Audrey Butve Gruss Science Award. Carly Grossman, Margaret Durkee Angel, and Henrietta Brown Durkee Award. Amidas Hamidi, David Crumey Award for Experimental Computer Science, and also friend of Bob. Daniel Harrington and Abi Mumaneni, sorry about that, class of 1947, Victor Prather Prize. Okay, that's twice I messed up on that one. That's Prather Prize. Thank you. Benjamin Mashu, Benjamin G. Brown Prize. Dana Perry, Howard Sample Prize in Physics. And Amanda Yan Morris and Sid Heyman Prize. Please join me in congratulating all of our department and university award winners, and you all may be seated.
We now welcome Professor Montserrat Teixidor Ibigas to the podium for the presentation of the senior theses.
Hello. In the Department of Mathematics this year, we have 6 students who have completed a senior honors thesis, and whose exceptional work we will now acknowledge. I am going to call your name. I am going to mispronounce your name, as you probably expect, but when it comes to pronouncing and writing names, I apply the kind of idea that forgive our trespasses as we forgive those who trespassed against us. All right, so Catherine DeLeo, please stand when I call your name. The thesis is entitled Right-Angled Coxeter Groups, the Davis Complex and Hyperbolicity, completed under the direction of Genevieve Walsh. Peter Bigon, thesis is entitled Artifacts in Limited Data Tomography, completed under the direction of Todd Quinto. Jesse Kuhl, thesis is entitled On Goal Directedness in Collective Systems, Behavior, and Dynamical Architecture in Linear, completed under the direction of Sam Petty. David Cutler, thesis is entitled A Metric Theory of Valuations on Convex Bodies, completed under the direction of Caso Okojo. Ben Mashuk, thesis is entitled Harmonic Morphisms of Rank 1 Division on Metric Generalized Banana Graphs, completed under the direction of myself, Montserrat Teixidor. Saskia Solotko, thesis entitled Multi-Triangulations on Ciliated Surfaces and the Generalization of the Parking Space, completed under the direction of Diane Souvain. We also have several master students who wrote a master thesis. It's not a requirement for graduations, but several people did it. And we are now going to acknowledge the students. Danchiel Woodhouse thesis is entitled Exactly Solvable Schrödinger Operators on the Half-Line and Spectral Decimation under Caso Okojo. You can stand, please. Angarat Hodge, The thesis is entitled A Characterization of Virtually Cyclic Automorphism Groups of Right-Angle Coxeter Groups under the direction of Kim Ruan. Minerva Johar, the thesis is entitled The Theorem of the Highest Weight. Dissertation advisor is Fulton Gonzalez. Chami Carilla Peruma, the thesis is entitled Existence and Uniqueness of Equilibrium States Using Klimenhaga-Thompson Methods, directed by Boris Hasselblad. Antonio Midense Ordóñez, the thesis is entitled Extending the Generalized Singular Value Decomposition to Tensors via the START-M framework, with advisor Misha Kilmer. Alex Miller, the thesis is entitled On the Internal Language of Cartesian Closed Categories, under George McNinch. Chela Raghavan, the thesis is entitled Correlation Decay in Billiard System, with advisor Boris Hasselblad. Julia Rosedel, the thesis is entitled P-adic Methods in Post-Quantum Cryptography, a study in error-correcting codes, with advisor George McNinch. Congratulations to you all. And we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now proceed to the presentation of the graduates. The diplomas will not be handed out here, but instead be mailed to your homes. Graduates should come to the stage to receive congratulations from Dean Lizarbar and the faculty. We will first recognize the graduates from the Department of Mathematics who have earned the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Mathematics. The PhD candidates may now rise and proceed to the stage. Professor Fulton Gonzalez will present the graduate degrees.
Dean Lizarbar, I am pleased to certify that these candidates have completed all requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy and have demonstrated by preparation of a written dissertation and by oral examination the sound and mature scholarship required of recipients of this high degree. Shuang Guan's dissertation is entitled Uniqueness and Independence in Time-Frequency Analysis. His dissertation advisor is Professor Kaso Okuju. Jianchen Wang's dissertation is entitled Geometry and Dynamics of Hyperbolic Magnetic Flows. His dissertation advisor is Professor Boris Hasselblad. Christopher Radigan's dissertation is entitled The Volume over the ROC Surface for Binary Classifier Performance Evaluation. And his dissertation advisor is Professor Lenore Cowan. Master's candidates, please line up and go to the stage. Next, we will recognize the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Mathematics. Dean Lizaribar, I have the honor to present to you these candidates for the degree of Master of Science. I am pleased to certify that these candidates have completed all of the course requirements for the Master of Science degree. Congratulations to all of you. Christy Anharad Hodges. Sorry. If I mispronounce names, I deeply apologize. Alex Miller. Danshil Budu. Max DeSantis. Isaac Drieben. Alex Sajin. Julia Rosedale. Chela Sai Raghavan. Chami Karyaperuma. Minerva Johar. Odalis Garcia Lopez. Antonio Midense Ordóñez. Ahmed Al-Gamdi. Theodore Nye.
Mathematics graduates, will you please hand your card to Professors Walsh and Kosha as you get to the podium. The first row of candidates may now rise and proceed to the stage. Dean Lizaribar, I have the honor to present to you these candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science.
Saskia Soloko. Oh, I forgot to say. First of all, let's stop. I will massacre your names even if I love you. Jesse Simon Cool. Ben Mushu. Thank you. Peter Began. Do you want to do something? David Owen Horace Cutler. Catherine DeLeo. You want to do something? Let's start with
Cisco Jean Haden. Margaret Olson. Tyler W. Donovan. William Godfrey Zhang. Yumo Gao. Joshua Kripke.
Verbant Modi. Hi. Amitas Hamidi. Lila Sad. Kabir Tripali. Close. Omi Mokameni. Pretty close. Sorry. Yeah, you go.
William Salimes. Andrew Ng. Mateusz Andrzej Zubritsky. Vera Choi.
Yay!
Robert Nicholas Bush.
Hi. Max Edelman. Benjamin Alexander Nemeth. Mira Call. Leslie Correa. Not so bad. Xavier Humphrey. Yeah.
Brianna Taborda. Kelvin Guabadia. Michelle Hsu. Zoe Haralambidis. Alexandra Baranchikova.
James Yang Jen Chang Vincent. Zoe Dill. Sydney Thompson. Rachel Cranley. Anna Lahonkra. Vanessa Maria Rose. Gabrielle Fuki. You want to go?
Benjamin Rowland. I'm so sorry. Anand Haraglilorda. I'm so sorry. Kalyan Keithun Putel. Mason Gao. Wes Rivers. Whitney Morales. Matthew Berdulis.
Chang Lee. Elaine Wang. And Bingyu Wu. Thank you.
All right, thank you, and let's congratulate all the graduates again. So now, two of my colleague retired earlier this year, and I would like to present them like a certificate from Tufts. So I would like to call first on Christophe Bogus. And Lauren too. All right, so now the final task is for me to thank everyone here. So I would like to first of all thank you, graduates. You should be proud of the many accomplishments you've sort of done here. The faculty, the staff, and everyone in the department have been consistently amazed by your dedication to mathematics. I hope you continue to sort of show the same love of mathematics that you've displayed here as you move forward to whatever you want to do next. Math is by now like part of your life, and you should never, never let it go, please, okay? And, I also know that you haven't been able to do this just by yourself. So your parents, your family, your friend, your support system who are all here, they deserve a lot of credit in your accomplishment. And I just want you to sort of thank them for being there for you when it was hard, when it was easy, and to sort of see you through today. So please thank your parents, please. And I'm going to do something that's not in the script. I know many of you have made the math department, especially the 5th floor of GCC home for the last 4 years. But there are 3 people without whom the building or the math department will never sort of work well. And those people are probably the most important people in this room today beside you. And I want to name Wendy Menderos, Joe Gupta, and Destiny Rivera in the back. And once again, thank you. Thank the parents. Thank you for trusting your children, your sons, daughters, and to us for the last 4 years. We just hope that they remain committed and sort of remain attached to the math department here at Tufts. And we wish them all the best. And thank you for letting them come to us. So thank everyone.
This, graduates, is the moment. You may now move your tassels from right to left. I hope that you will linger to enjoy some company after the ceremony and before you retrieve your generalized car from your generalized parking space. Dean Lizaribar and the faculty will now recess, followed by the graduates, and finally the audience. Please remain in your seats until all graduates have recessed.